What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you guys, well, without a marker wash today. A couple of things. Number one, this is probably going to be the most Photon Hypernova marker watch I'm going to be doing. So if you're getting ready for Photon Hypernova, you're really going to want to watch this marker watch to figure out the cards you're going to want to get. Now, of course, I'm going to go over some of the top decks in the OCG, but realistically, I'm going to go over cards that you're just going to want to get in general for Photon Hypernova. Once we get the pre-sale prices, we'll go back over and look over the set, but for the most part, that is what we're going to be doing today. Number one. Number two, I'm going to go back to streaming. A lot of people are really upset with me. I get people asking me constantly, V, when you going to go back to doing remote duel streaming? I did One Piece streaming, I did a little Mass Duel, but what's going on with remote duel Yu-Gi-Oh streaming? I'm going to be doing it starting today. Starting today, I'm going to be remote duel streaming. It's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Guardian Games has remote duel tournaments. That's going to be every day, roughly around 6:30. The tournament starts. I'm going to be playing in it. I already have my deck all done. I've actually been practicing a lot at locals. So I'm pretty confident, pretty excited to go back to remote duel streaming. If you guys want to go check that out, go to my Twitch channel, YGOPaisano. Links will be down below. I ain't gonna lie, I miss it. I really do miss it. I had to get a lot of things sorted, but we're back on track. We're gonna be doing it. Actually have a cool update for the stream setup that I'll probably talk about on stream later on today. So once again, if you want to go check that out, check me out, YGO_Paisano. We're gonna be hanging out. We're gonna be remote duel streaming. Depending what time, if we get done early enough, maybe we'll play some games together. I got some cool things we could do together. And after that, yeah, I got a lot of stuff to talk about. So I'm gonna be going over everything today on stream, YGO_Paisano. Once again, be there around 6:30. I'll see you there. All right. So once again, like I said earlier in this video, Photon Hypernova is what we're going to be talking about. The reason why I think this set is so interesting is because it adds a new dynamic to the game that we just really needed. Right now, if you ask anybody that plays Yu-Gi-Oh!, even the casuals, what's the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck, they're going to tell you T-Elements. Realistically, it's the Shizu T-Elements, but T-Elements is the best deck. Followed by everything else that's not so T-Elements. But T-Elements is the most dominant deck. And with the release of Photon Hypernova, we actually have a real shot at having other decks be up there. Now, we could say Makankos, who knows? I'm going to throw it out there. But realistically, Kashiras. Kashiras are ideally going to be a deck to fight Ishizu T-Elements. And the rest of the stuff needed for Kashiras is going to be in this set. It's actually a big deal. A lot bigger than everyone's giving it credit for. So with that said, if you are playing T-Elements, you're not down the outs, though. Because with Photon Hypernova, they basically give us cards that we can use in T-Elements as well. So, T-Elements get a boost, Kashiras get a boost, and everybody else, well, hopefully there's something in here that you're going to want to consider picking up as well. Now, King of the Swamps ideally is like the most dominant card in the OCG. And a lot of people are saying, V, what happened to just ban King of the Swamp? It's not that easy. Looking over King of the Swamp, the current price of the highest version of Super Rad Hobby League 1, that card kind of went down a little bit in value, but realistically, it's still a lot. It's about $88 to $89. And you don't really need this version of the card. Obviously, you have the dual terminal versions, so roughly around, the market price is 18. Let's go take a quick look at it. It's actually roughly around $8 for the DT version if you want that. It looks pretty nice. You have the rare original print out of Ancient Sanctuary. What I'm using is a super rare out of Fusion of Forces. And let me know, comment down below if you're using this card as well. It's actually recently went up a little bit in value. It's roughly around for Unlimited and First Edition, actually. It's about $3 to $4 with shipping. So it did go up a bit in value. You might go, V, that's the card Konami needs to hit, right? Right, V? That'll take care of the problem. Right, V? No. Here's why, though. Here's why. Because Beast King of the Swamp does the same exact thing. It is a level 4, so you actually can exceed into it. Aqua, by the way, you know, in case you want to buff your Abyss Dweller. And this card basically says the exact same thing. It doesn't have the pitch add polymerization, but other than that, it has the exact same text. Originally coming out of TP1, Torrent Pack 1, the value of this card is highly underlooked right now. It's roughly around $19 for this rare. This collectible rare, by the way. You can also get it in TP5, it's roughly around 33 cents. And Gold Series, as a common, it has 54 cents. So, this card actually is an excellent substitution to King of the Swamp. You ban King of the Swamp, people are just going to play Beast King of the Swamp and get back to work. You understand the situation? So, what I feel like, and I've said this before on this video, with tier limits, we have basically the old dragon situation where Konami released a dragon deck called Dragon Rulers, and no matter how many times Konami hit it, it was still good, no matter what they did. And look at over here, if Konami does the same thing, and Konami, you see King of the Swamp even get limited, people go, okay, cool, we just play Beast King in the Swamp. The deck will definitely change a bit, but it's kind of the same premise. Listen, Black Little Soldier is another card you're going to want to go ahead and pick up as well. And here's my question to everybody watching this video right now. What is the best version that you're going to run of Black Little Soldier, Soldier Chaos? Because this will soon see play. No doubt in my mind. The card King Ghost Rare, which is roughly around 110. Ultra Rares are roughly around 50 bucks. Ultra Rare that recently came out of Magnificent Mavens is about $3. I actually bought this yesterday. I don't know which version I want. I'm a personal big fan of high rarity. I always love high rarity. I love Ultra Rares, and the Ultra Rare BLS looks gorgeous. With that said, Ghost Rare is higher in rarity. So comment down below. Please help me out with this. Which version would you pick if you had to pick a one? And then we have Guardian Camaro. This card's going to see a lot more play a lot sooner than people really wanted to see play. And the reason why is because people are expecting this card to get a reprint, in which I also think this card's going to get reprinted. No doubt in my mind. But this card will see play. It's going to see play. And OCG, it does. I'll show you that in a second. But here in the TCG, this card out of Battles of Chaos, I mean, it was roughly around $49. Is it still low? Not really. It's roughly $34. You only need one, allegedly. Realistically, you want to get two if you're looking to play any branded variant, but you only need one if you're looking to place in tier limit in a future build. It's about $34. You might want to go ahead and grab this card if it does see any kind of play, any tier limit deck moving forward in the future. It's going to be rising astronomically high in value. By the way, here's a list, one of the lists from OCG. This guy got first place in a Hong Kong tournament. As you can see over here, once again, there's your 3 King of Swamps. They do run one polymerization. And then you got a lot of cool stuff, actually. Like a lot of really cool stuff, like Shadows. And this is why I think I'm more excited to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to hold anything back. I am a massive fan of Shadows. I like fusion monsters. I think they're really fun. And Shadows is ideally one of my favorite decks in the game. And to see Shadow Window come back in here, pretty fun. Another little cool thing you can do, because this guy plays Shadow Beast, which lets you draw a card if it gets sent to the graveyard, and Shadow Squamata, which sends any Shadow card from your deck to the graveyard if you want to activate the effect. A cool thing that you can do is side Shadow Fusion. If you go first, well, no, I'm sorry. If you go second, Shadow Fusion is a broken card. Playing against a mirror match, you might actually want to play this card going first, because your opponent has had this and procs had this and goes into Fusion. You punish them infinitely hard by going into Shadow Fusion and doing a lot of the cool stuff. There's other Shadow cards starting to see play as well in tier limits, and I wouldn't be surprised here in the TCG, where we don't have a card like Maxi, so you're not going to be able to get punished for overextending. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more Shadow cards, so I'm talking like El Shadow Shakanaga, maybe even a Noetalis, a lot of cool Shadow cards that can have a chance to see play because of the way tier limits are structured and the way they're built. And I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing a lot of these cards actually see play in the game. A little cool thing you do is go Shadow Fusion, do Winda, and then look at that. They got some Dark Monsters, you got some Water Monsters. Let's go ahead and use their effects because they were sent from the deck to the graveyard. So Shadow Fusion has a ton of synergy with tier limits. And I think with the release of the new variation of Kashiras, it's going to force players to might want to not, well, that didn't want to play Shadows, to now play Shadows, and at the very least play Shadow Winda. So which one you're playing? Shadow Winner right now, Secret Rare Trials of Valhalla, by the way, is roughly only about $3. Now, that one looks nice, and as well as the OG Prince Shadow Winda coming out of those Alliance. This card used to be so much money. Look at that. It has dropped. As of filming of this video, it's roughly around $4 to $5. Myself, personally, I like the higher rarity version. I do own both, but I really do like the higher rarity version of Winda. Let me know which one you're going to use if you're looking to play this. Another card that's you're going to want to go ahead and grab is also the Earth Charmer Immovable. You know how dark is it, like in every deck? Like every deck? Kashiras are so good and so broken, you're going to want to pick up also the Earth Charm Removal, because the minute you take your opponent's Kashira Fenrir, if you play Kashiras, Fenrir's effect lets you search your deck for any Kashira monster. Not only that, it also has the ability to banish a card if your opponent activates a monster effect, so that's a nice way to screw your opponent over with one card. Also, the Earth Charm Removal actually has a bunch of printings. It's Ultra Rare is like 20 cents. The Starlight Rare right now is insanely undervalued. Look at this. There's the hype. There's a realization, and there's the current valuation. It's roughly around $240 for also the Earth Charm Removal. I was debating on picking up more Starlight Rest in my deck. I'm debating on it still. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. I do think also we'll be going up in value for the Starlight Rare. I would not be surprised to see his card be at least 3 to 350 in the near future as well. Then we have this. Now, this is really interesting. In the OCG, they're actually playing a ton more of Sprite Brigade. Now in TCG, we use Sprite Brigade a little bit with sprites. Some players had some success with this, but in the OCG, there is a ton of players playing Sprite Brigade with sprites. Like, it's very common, actually. And this is an average common build. This actually got third at the Hong Kong tournament. Sprite Brigade is looking like a real threat to a lot of players. Yes, they do have a couple of cards we don't have, but ultimately, this deck can be built here in a TCG, and I do think moving forward, this might be a deck a lot of players might be picking up, or at least working on for the foreseeable future. Once again, in case anyone forgot, in regionals in the TCG here, I would say sprites are, if not tied, maybe even more, a little more dominant than tier limits. But at a YCS, it's more or less tier limit city. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Yu-Gi-Oh players with the release of Photon Hypernova going ahead and playing more Sprite Brigade. And if that's to be the case, that's going to really add a new element to the current gameplay that we see Sprite players play moving forward. And you're going to want to go ahead and pick up your Sprite Brigade cards. Now, luckily, they're all dirt cheap because nobody knows this. For some ungodly reason, nobody's talking about this here in the TCG. Now, you're going to probably say, wait a minute, V, Doshi has a ban list, so a lot of things change. That's why they're playing that. Sure. But with the bans coming up here in the TCG, and really within a week or two at most, I do see the fact that we're going to be seeing a lot of players that are playing sprites know they're going to get hit and want to prepare for that. And the best way to prepare is see what happened in OCG and seeing the fact that I got Sprite Brigade. So when you look at a card like Shurek, the Ominous Omen, that used to be like $20, $30, this card's $9. Also has an Ultra printing, which is $2. Farrajet, or Farrajet, depending on how you want to pronounce it, used to be well over 250. Look at this chart in the past 3 months, and look at this chart in the past month. Like, it's been slept on. People are in a coma on this card's value. It's roughly around $173. I will say that people are buying this card, but once again, look at the dates on here on the buys. Yikes! Like, I think Sprite Brigades are definitely heavily slept on, and I wouldn't be surprised if Yu-Gi-Oh players play this moving forward. And the rest of the cards for Sprite Brigades are dirt cheap. I mean, they're insanely easy to buy right now. Nobody's looking at them, but the minute this deck does see play with sprites, and I see as much dominance as sprites are seeing in the regional circuit, I wouldn't be surprised if this card rises higher in value. Then we have Fire Mission Tanky. So there's a bunch of printings, but I really want to focus on this one right here. This version of Fire Mission Tanky is a really important one. Konami slowly is drip feeding us and leading us to sprites. Ultimately, Fire Mission Tankies are roughly around $124 to $125. If you're looking to play the Sprite Brigade variation, just know this will rise up high in value. Now, how high? I don't know, but I definitely think this is going to be rising high in the future. Another really interesting card is going to be Ghost Mode Moonlight Chill. So, if you're playing Kashir Telements, if you're playing anything, you gotta realize Kashirs have a monster that basically, on board, sends everything. Any card that goes to the graveyard gets banished. That's basically one of the effects. One of the many effects. And Ghost Mode Moonlight Chill is a great way to counter that effect. Ghost Mode Moonlight Chill didn't see as much play, even though everyone told me I was wrong. This card sees all a ton of play. It's all like none. But this card will see more play moving forward in the future. Now, the gold rares from Imperium Go look like hot cheeks, but I will say the alternate art version looked kind of nice. But looking at it, I mean, super rare, ultra rare, secret rare, depending on whatever you want to go ahead and grab this card, as long as you own a play set. At least 2. I think we're seeing a lot of people play 2. This card, in case you forgot, says your opponent special summons a monster face up. You can discard this card, target one of those face-up monsters, negates effects on the end of its turn. Also, that face-up monster leaves the field. Its control takes damage equal to its original attack. This card is effect failure and a way to gain life points built into one card. This card is actually really good for a lot of players that are looking possibly going to time, but I'll also possibly slow down your opponent in the game state. I do think Ghost of Moon Chill is highly undervalued right now and highly underlooked, and I think a lot of you players are going to want to pick this up. So if you came to me and said, V, I want to grab this card, well, which one do I grab? Well, not the Premium Go Rare, it looks like hot cheeks, but listen, Ultra Rare looks really good, it's 20 cents. The Super Rare looks really good, it's 10 cents. The Secret Rare is probably where you want to get if you want to get a little higher in rarity, unless you want to get Starlight Rares, but those are kind of like insanely overpriced. I wouldn't recommend them, especially for like a hand trap. Listen, $11 right here, first edition. That'll do you right there. $11 for a secret rare card that actually might start seeing more play moving forward. And then we have Amazing Offenders. So I mentioned Makonkos earlier. Yes, there's the Pearlies, and obviously a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players won their Yu-Gi-Oh Day tournaments playing Pearlies if I had to guess. I actually want to buy you a good day. I might do a deck profile on this channel showing my deck off. But I think Makonkos are highly slept on. I mean, look at this. Nini the Mirror Makonko is $47 for the CR. And then if you want to get the regular version, it's not even on page 1. You actually got to move over to page 2, I believe it is. Where is it? Here it is. It's 14 cents. Makonkos are dirt right now in value. The most expensive Makonko that isn't a CR, let's see if we can find it. Let's see, that's a CR, that's CR. If I pass it, I do apologize. It's so low, it's insane. Oh, Ohimi the Manifested Makonko is $28. You're gonna want to grab, I believe, 2 of these. I would just recommend getting 3. Some builds are playing 2 though. They're highly slept on. I think with the release of Photon Hypernova, Makonkos get better, and I won't be surprised if a lot of you players start seeing that, start playing Makonkos in the near future. Once again, if you want to get the high rarity, it's there, but realistically, I wouldn't go too expensive, too crazy as Makonkos, because still, Timons are the most dominant deck, but Makonkos are going to be a deck that a lot of you players are going to have to know what they do, so keep an eye on this. Also, if you want to go get some gorgeous field systems and tokens, go to my website, YGOPaisano.com. I have a promo code that is available. I believe it ends midnight tonight. It's Paisano5. You get $5 off with a promo code, so check it out. Have you guys follow me on Instagram. I already posted on Instagram. If you saw in the community tab on YouTube, or you are on my Discord, I posted it, I believe, over the weekend, so you had more time. That promo code, Paisano5, they get $5 off. Ends midnight today, so you're going to want to go ahead and grab it. You know, save $5. Listen, I think Photon Hypernova is going to be a massive set for a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players. People are talking about, do I buy a case of this set? No. Buying cases of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, those days are long gone. Now, unless you're an OTS store that can buy at a discounted rate, sort, sell fast online, with a teacher you play a pre-sale account, it's not worth it. But ultimately, I do think Photon Hypernova has a lot of great value, and I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players are going to start seeing a change in the current metagame. And with that said, comment down below. What deck are you playing with the release of Photon Hypernova? It's your boy V, and you Paisanos have a great day. Also, see you Paisanos at 6:30. Take it easy, Paisanos.